Hi everyone, my name is Vic and I am a first year PhD student at the University of Toronto. Speaking of U of T, U of T has 40 libraries, and you know what they all have in common? The fact that I haven't been to a single one of them in my first month of school. But anyways, I decided that this week we're gonna change that. So come along with me to Robarts Library, the Emmanuel College Library, the Bora Laskin Law Library, and the Knox College Library. You'll see throughout the video that this scale is very imperfect, but hopefully I can show you some of the libraries that you've never seen before if you're a U of T student or you're just curious. Let's get into it. Welcome to Robarts Library. Amazing. Thank you, you too. So I'm currently sitting inside of Robarts Library, and this library is huge. It's 14 stories tall. It also has about 6 or 7 libraries, I can't count. And there could be like even more than that within this one building. There's a Starbucks, there's a food court, there's private study, there's discussion areas. One of the coolest libraries that I want to check out is the Thomas Fisher Rare Book Library, which apparently has like top security protection, but I have to confirm that, so hopefully Editing Vic will find information on that. But yeah, let's go check it out. Hi, this is Editing Vic. I did ask if it was bulletproof, and the lady looked at me like I was cuckoo bananas, but she did say that the most that they do is change the temperature to protect the books. So my mom lied. Starbucks. Okay, I'm gonna head into the Thomas Fisher Rare Book Library. Let's see how far I can get with a camera. It is a few days post Robarts and I'm ready to share my thoughts. Robarts is a library that is in a league of its own. I have never seen anything like that. I feel like you could easily spend 24 hours in there and not even know. Like, it's giving the Pentagon, a place that you can literally do anything. You could probably sleep there overnight. You can get snacks, you can eat snacks, you can talk to your friends. You could do like completely silent work. There's just so much going on in there, and it's objectively a 5-star library. That being said, I don't know if the vibe is there, you know what I'm saying? Just the architecture is very brutalistic, fortress. Some people call it a turkey, some people call it a peacock. It just looks like a massive slab of concrete. And you know what? To some people it's state of the art. For me, I just don't feel like I'm gonna come up with my most revolutionary ideas there. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm going to find world peace in that space. In terms of the rare books collection, that had to be, if that was the entire library, I would be working there. I would never leave. But you actually can't work in there. You have to be looking at, you know, archival material in order to actually be inside that library. So when I went, I was able to just kind of walk around and take a peek, but you can't go into like any of the levels. But overall, Robarts is chef's kiss. Definitely 5 stars, but not necessarily 5 stars for me. But let's get into the next library. Okay, so I'm currently inside of Emmanuel College, and I'm gonna head into into the library, but look how beautiful this building is. Just finished studying at the Emmanuel College library and I wanted to give my review. I'm just gonna pull up my criteria because I haven't memorized them. My brain already hurts. Chills. First off, I wanted to preface that Emmanuel College, or this library specifically, is a theology library, which means that there's a lot of religious text and religious discussion on the shelves. Books on Hinduism, Catholicism, I saw books specifically on the Torah, so there's just a lot of really cool texts in there if this is what you're interested in. But let's talk about kind of the atmosphere. So in terms of snack smuggling factor, I don't feel like this is the place to bring your snacks. It's so quiet in there that you don't want to even make a noise. Like I felt like me closing my eyelids was making too much noise. That's how quiet it was. In terms of nap friendliness, you could absolutely hear a pin drop in there, so it's easy to want to fall asleep in there, but I wouldn't, just because everybody seems to want to have a seat in there, and if you're in there napping on prime real estate, people are going to be peeved. People are going to be angry. Procrastination distraction score, I feel like the library has windows, but they're not on floor level, which is great because you're not really able to kind of get distracted by people that are outside. Like I said about the volume, there's nothing going on in there for you to be distracted by. But also, like, you can't talk with other people. It is a great place if you're looking to get shit done. And I did get stuff done for like 2.5 hours. Speaking of 2.5 hours, I was able to sit, no problem, felt my bum, no numbness, so good chairs. I love the windows. They're like very dark academia, cold, but also there's no stained glass, so you're not getting like reflections of light, which could be an advantage or a disadvantage. Kind of like fresh air atmosphere is good. Shelves are pretty, beautiful lamps on the top, so I definitely love the aesthetic of this library. And overall vibe, I really loved studying here. I felt like I got a lot done, felt like I could stay focused, and at the same time I felt like I was kind of at Hogwarts, which is always kind of a goal. So in terms of my rating, I would give Emmanuel College Library 4 stars out of 5. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next library I'm going to is the Bora Laskin library, which is part of the law school here at UofT. I'm expecting this library to be kind of grim, and also for it to smell like brains that are just like constantly over circuiting and working too hard. And I'm allowed to say that because I used to study law and I still kind of do. But yeah, let's go see what it's like in there. So I just finished up at the Bora Laskin Law Library, and my hypotheses were as I predicted, I guess. Yeah, it's just like, it's giving stale. And this is no offense to anybody that loves working here. And these are my reasons. For context, again, this is a law library. The shelves and like what was on them was actually really interesting. We had a lot of like case law, and then we had journals about law. We had them separated by province and territory, which was cool. So I kind of really liked that. There was also like an additional archive behind the counter. So these are like probably very special books that you need to ask for permission for. Snack smuggling factor, I definitely feel like you could have brought in snacks, especially if you're sitting either on the second floor or inside of the like independent study rooms where you could have like groups and conversations. Nap friendliness, feel like you could totally nap here. No one's gonna judge you because there's a lot of seats, and I wouldn't blame you if you were studying law for that long. I would fall asleep too, because I have. Procrastination distraction score, inside of those private rooms, I feel like you could absolutely get to chatting, or even if you just see someone from class, I feel like it would be easy to kind of like whisper a few things. It definitely wasn't like dead silent. Chair quality, oh my goodness, brutal. Like, we are in the legal field. We know that there's a duty of care. Why are you breaking people's backs? Those chairs were brutal. But goodness gracious, I feel like they need new chairs. Aesthetic, like you kind of can tell from my reaction to Emmanuel College library, I love a good dark academia, rustic character, kind of like the older vibe. So this was not necessarily my cup of tea. I do love kind of modern architecture, but when it comes to studying, I feel like it can be very cold and almost like laboratory-ish. So that was a little bit of iffy for me. But in terms of overall vibes, it wasn't too bad. Again, lots of people working overtime and probably losing their minds. So I can appreciate, you know, like what that gives to the air of the space. But overall, I think it was a good 3 stars, 3 to 3.5 stars. I'm torn. But yeah, that's my vote. So you can actually see like the stained glass windows from outside right there. Interesting. I'm also going to share my thoughts on Knox College. So Knox College definitely has that rustic energy, very clergy. I mean, it's like a super religious college. There's actually a chapel in the college, and a college is just like a building on campus. They previously had more kind of affiliation, but now they're more just like for residence assigning and things like that. But it's very religious, and the library itself is also theology based, so there's a lot of religious texts just like Emmanuel College. I feel like the library is made more for collective conversation versus actually like sitting down and studying. I'm not saying that anybody was talking, because there was actually no talking in there. There wasn't even breathing, but it's more the issue of like, it's made to be so open space, and like even the library shelves are super low, and then everyone else is, you know, like it feels like you're being perceived while you're studying there. And like, if that's something that's kind of distracting to you, then you might not want to work there. Also, it's elevated a little bit, but it looks out onto King's Circle, which is the center of the campus. And so there's like always events going on, and the windows are typically open, so you can hear a lot of that. So if that's distracting to you, then you might not want to work there. That being said, the stained glass windows were amazing. It just like, it has so much potential, but it lacks a lot of functional qualities. Like you're not going to be able to find an outlet in there. At least I couldn't. And again, you're just constantly feeling like you're doing group work in a completely dead silent space, which is so funky. Even though it's so close to my college, it's so close to where I work, I feel like it's going to be a 2.5 for me, which is so terrible because I wanted to love it. But yeah, I mean, my opinion will probably change, but that's how I feel as of right now. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I think Robarts won out of technicality, but in terms of the winner of my heart, it was definitely Emmanuel College. And you know I'm gonna romanticize like that place till the end of my degree. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the love and support that I've been receiving on this channel so far. Like I've hinted at, the first month of school has been a huge adjustment, and to feel like I'm not going through it alone and that people are interested in what I'm interested in or just want to join me on the journey and are curious, it really does mean the world to have that support. We're almost at 500 subscribers, which is so cuckoo bananas. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to support me and this crazy thing we call a PhD. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week wherever you are. Sending you love, health, and happiness.